Welcome back to the art room. Today we're going to be opening up the paint center. The very first thing we're going to do is get your paper, put your name on it, and your teacher code. You're going to be doing this over here by the window area, and you're also going to go ahead and sketch out a design. Keep it simple because you do want time to paint. You don't want to waste time sketching and drawing something very detailed that you're not even going to be able to paint that day. So make sure you allow yourself enough time. This is a practice day. We're going to be painting on one sheet of paper the entire time. The goal is to hit every table. You want to get to all the different types of paint and just paint in a little bit of your drawing using a little bit of variety of the different paints. You may not get to all the paint centers on the first day. We'll also have a second day which will include tools as well. All right, so let's get started at what we do have available. Most of what we have here are right now watercolors. Let's see, tempera. Let me grab tempera here. Okay, so we have our tempera paint here. We're going to be using a mat to put the paint on. Typically it's not this paper type, but it's going to be plastic. And you want to do all your mixing right there on the mat. You don't want to mix on your paper because it may not be the right color you need. One of the biggest things that we're going to be doing with the tempera paint, which is thicker, that comes out of the bottle, is to swish your brush, wipe it, and then blot it on the paper towel. We don't want to be tapping it because that's going to spray water everywhere. But the key is to keep your brush clean because you are sharing paints with everyone. So you get your next color here. In my case, I'm picking blue. So I mix it and it makes a nice green. Okay. And like I said, then you decide, okay, where's that green going to go, or whatever color that you're choosing to mix. And you're just going to do a couple key places on your main drawing here. Again, swishing. Anytime I switch colors, I want to swish, wipe, and blot. So carry your paintbrush with you and also keep a paper towel with you as well. Let's see, some other paints that we're going to be doing. We have tempera cakes. So these are thicker. You can also go ahead and use them almost like a watercolor. You do have to add water to it, swish it up, and that makes the paint. Another kind of unique way to do that, to use this paint, is to use a sponge. Get your sponge a little wet, enough to go around to make paint appear on the sponge. I don't know if you can see that or not. And then you want to dab. This will create a neat kind of texture, and it's really nice for layering. Want to do another color, just clean it there and then swish it around. Pick up that color, dab, dab, dab. Help fill in that color. You want to use colors that are similar to each other or that make sense for your painting at that time. All right. Let's see, I'm going to wait on that one. Let's do some coloring type of ones. These are ones that you would literally color in your drawing and then filling it in. And then most of them you're going to go ahead and then take your wet brush and paint it. And that's going to smear it so it becomes like a watercolor paint. It is going to pool out, so you have to be careful with that. The other one is color sticks. Again, these are thicker. These are almost like oil pastels. You'd want to color it in. The only thing I don't like about these, if you don't color it solid, you do end up seeing the kind of the pencil marks, if you will, or the crayon marks. So this spreads. All right, I have another one. I'm not going to do the brush with it. These are called payons, and you do want to keep them in the black cover. The only problem is they also tend to slide out sometimes. You want to be careful because they can stain your hands pretty good. There is a little scrubby in this tub of water here. And then you want to go ahead and you're painting it on. So get that wet, and it just kind of does its own spreading with the crayon itself here. So I like these over the thicker ones. All right, finally, let's see, we move on to our watercolor paint, which we've used before. We do have neon colors. Oh, let me jump ahead. Before we do that, some techniques with the watercolors. You could just use them plain. You could also do a resist a crayon resist, so that means you would draw in a design or whatever kind of part you would need there. You take, let's say, a neon color. I'll try neon. And then you're going to fill that in, as you can see here. And it really almost creates like a little shield or a kind of bubble around it. A neat little effect. And I'll do it with the regular color as well. It's going to look different. And a regular color. These you got to add water to. So only ones you don't have to are the temperate. Okay, so crayon resist is pretty cool. You put your own little design in. All right, finally with the watercolor, what we're going to do is go ahead and fill in your area. And this is something we did not do last year. There are a couple containers on these tables, and they have salt in them. And you're going to just do a little pinch of the salt. You don't want too much, enough to fill in that little area. If it's a larger area, just remember it has to stay wet. It will not work for temper paints. It will work for all the other type of paint because you're adding the water to it. Okay, thank you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and switch to our screen here. We are going to start with, let's see, here we go. Start at the beginning. You're going to see the result of the salt painting. That's what you're going to see first. So there's some crystallization up here. Kind of spreads out, almost fans, or almost like turns into a little fern leaf, which is pretty cool. All right, here's a watercolor painting. Very simple, very few colors, nice blending. Very nice picture though. Okay, and this one is with the watercolor pencils. So there's a lot that you can achieve with that. And this one is with oil paints. We didn't talk about this one, or I didn't show this one to you, but if you're more of a serious artist, this is something that you could do later on. You can see how thick the paint is. You can see all the brush strokes in there. And we'll get in contact with you if you're more interested in furthering your painting skills. Okay, this is what we're going to be needing at the end of the art day, or before you paint here. So we're going to look in that. Should be onto our video here next. Nope. All right, we're going to go ahead and go to this video with color mixing.
Scrape you up the pavement just like I said I would. But I can't stand to watch the way you break yourself against the ground. The things you are, the way you do, shouldn't have a thing to do with anyone but you. And it may be that things in your life are coming into view. Go ahead, do the right thing. I'll just watch from here. You're banging on the screen door, looking for the surrounds. Any little piece of me, anything that you can have. Well, oh, it's so small, oh, it's so warm, oh, it all have a thing you want, and it may be that things in your life are coming into view. Go ahead, do the right thing, and I'll just watch from here. Not the girl that you think you saw, popping my knuckles, just waiting to fall.
All right. So we're going to stop our video or our movie here on this piece here. We're going to freeze frame it.